All right, let me give you a brief recap of what we have discussed so far. So, we are discussing future tense today, and future tense, we know we use future tense only to denote future actions. It is used to express the action which is planned for the future. The action which is planned for the future. That means it has no connection with present or past. And in future tense, we have four forms just like present and past, which we have discussed yesterday. That is simple future, future continuous, future perfect, and future perfect continuous. And look at these examples for future. He will meet our principal tomorrow indicates will meet, indicates future action which will take place. It is raining. I shall take an umbrella. Shall take denotes an action which takes place in the future. Next, I shall have completed my project by March. So, action which will be completed at some point of time in the future. He will have been manufacturing a car by this time next month. Action which will have been going on for a long period of time in the future. So, Swapna, every time it's getting disconnecting. Yes, Swapna, we are facing the same issue. Please do stay connected with us. We'll be looking into that. So, do not worry. Yeah, we are fine, facing the same technical glitch. Do not worry, it is because of network instability. So we are looking into that. So do stay connected with us. If you got any doubts or if you missed anything, let me know so that I'll be repeating that. Right. So now let's see the first one, simple future tense. The formulae for simple future tense. So just like simple present, except we add will or shall before V1. So subject plus shall or will plus V1 plus object is our positive form. Negative, use not after the auxiliaries. Subject plus shall or will plus not plus V1 plus object. Next, interrogative. Bring that auxiliary before the subject. So, shall or will plus subject plus V1 plus object plus question mark. Look at this. She will type the letter tomorrow is the future action represented in simple future. She will not type the letter tomorrow. Will she type the letter tomorrow? Again, they indicate action in negative and a question, the same action for tomorrow. So that's about the simple future formulae. Now let us see some more examples before actually seeing the usage. I will bring the book tomorrow. He will come to tour with us. They will play tournament next Sunday. Radha will celebrate her birthday next month, 8th birthday. Shall we go to movie tomorrow? She will not come to class for 2 days. So in the given examples, tomorrow, here next Sunday, next month, tomorrow, for 2 days are the time indicators which are representing the future events or future actions. Hence, they are in simple future tense. Now, let's move on to the usage. So, the first usage is we use simple future to denote an action which we cannot control, the future event which cannot be controlled now. Such future actions which cannot be controlled or which are not there in our hands will be represented in future tense. Right? For example, you can see here, it will be Pongal next week. Can you control that? No. We cannot control that. Next week it will be Pongal. We cannot make it next month. That is future, but we cannot be control. We cannot control that. We shall know our exam results in May. That is the scheduled one. We cannot control by saying it is in some other time or next year or next year. It is scheduled to get it for May. It cannot be controlled. He will meet our principal tomorrow. Again, tomorrow. It's already fixed. The schedule, the planned. You cannot control that. It will be Sunday tomorrow. You cannot make it Monday or Saturday. Sunday. It is future event which cannot be controlled. So such future events which cannot be controlled should be in simple future tense. That is our first usage. And moving on to the second usage, to represent future events with time indicator for future. So this is a common usage. For example, they will come to meet me tomorrow. They will come to meet me tomorrow. So here there is no connection for present or past. It talks about the future event. We shall go to Delhi next week. I'm sure Alekia will get the first rank. We shall go to class. So it talks about the actions which should take place in the future, which are planned for future, the events for future, which have no connection with present or past. That is our second usage. Now let's move on to the third one. The third one is something different. That is the decision taken at the time of speaking. At the time of speaking, in the sense, it should be in present continuous, as we discussed yesterday. But I'm not talking about present continuous, I'm talking about the decision taken at the time of speaking. That time of speaking should be represented in present continuous, but the decision which is being taken must be represented in simple future, like this. It is raining. I shall take an umbrella. Oh, car hit the pole. I shall call the ambulance. Bus strike. Today's bus strike. Oh, I shall go by auto rickshaw. Deepu is waiting at school. Time of speaking. The decision I made is I shall pick her up. So the decisions which are taken at the time of speaking should be in simple future, whereas at the time of speaking that action should be represented in present continuous. So these are the three usages of simple future tense. Now let's move on to the next one, future continuous. So what is the formula for future continuous? Just remember the formula for present continuous. Present continuous formula is subject plus, is, am, are plus, V4 plus object, right? But in future, will or shall are common. So subject plus will or shall is common for all the future forms. But what is the B form here? For present continuous, the B forms are is, am, are. And for past continuous, they are was, were. And what about future continuous? The B form for future continuous is B. B is the B form. That means after will or shall, what we are going to place is B. So subject plus will or shall plus B plus V4 plus object. As it is continuous, main verb should be in V4. V4 plus object. It is positive form. Now negative form. Subject plus shall or will plus not plus be plus V4 plus object. So not should be added to the auxiliary will or shall. Next interrogative. Shall or will plus subject plus be plus V4 plus object plus question mark. Now let's see an example. She will be singing a song. She will be singing a song. She will not be singing a song. Will she be singing a song? See, will plus B plus V4. Will not plus B plus V4. Will plus subject plus B plus V4. That is for interrogative. So that's about the formulae for future continuous. But guys, here is the thing. Simple future talks about the action which takes place in the future. Whereas future continuous, future perfect and future perfect continuous all depends upon our imagination. We talk about the actions which are scheduled in simple future, but here future continuous is not scheduled. It is our imagination, it's our thought process. We are thinking that the action will be taking place at some point of time in the future. It depends upon our thought process but not the scheduled one. So do remember the difference. So it depends upon our thought process. For example, look at the usage. So to indicate continuous action at a specific time in the future. So we talk about continuous action at a specific time in the future. For example, my child will be sleeping when I reach home. So when I reach home, my child will be sleeping. So here we are talking about the action which will be taking place at some point of time in the future. So again our imagination. My child will be sleeping. Action which will be going on at some point of time in the future when I reach home. Next, At this time tomorrow, at this time tomorrow, I shall be writing my exam in Bangalore. So action will be going on at this time in the future, tomorrow. At this time tomorrow, action will be going on. Next, we shall be traveling at this time tomorrow. We shall be traveling at this time tomorrow. Again, um, show me the comment. All right, guys, I hope the technical issue has fixed. So let's go further. So let me know before I go further, you want me to continue or you want me to start from the beginning? Because I know because of technical issue you have faced some problem. So let me know if you want me to start from the beginning, I will be doing that. Or if you want me to continue, let's continue. Please do respond. Do you want me to start from the beginning of today's session or do you want me to continue? Quick. Quick, guys, respond. Do you want me to start from the beginning or do you want me to continue? Okay, let's start from the beginning then. All right. So let's begin today's session. So as we discussed yesterday, the present and the past tenses, today we are going to discuss the future tense. So what is the future tense? What it does? What it denotes? Let's see that. So future tense generally talks about the future actions. They expresses the action which are taking place in the future. Future tense generally expresses the actions which are planned for the future. They do not have any connection with either present or past. It always talks about the future. And before going further, look at these examples. I will meet our principal tomorrow. He will meet our principal tomorrow. So here it indicates action which is planned to happen in the future tomorrow. It is raining. I shall take an umbrella. Action which will take place in the future. I shall have completed my project work by March. Action which will have completed. The completed action, not present or past, in the future. Next, he will have been manufacturing a car by this time next month. Action which will have been going on for a long period of time in the future. So, future talks about actions belong to future only. It has no connection with present or past tense. Now let's begin our first form, that is simple future. Just like other forms, we have four forms in future. The first form is simple future. The formula is as same as the formula for simple present, except in future we use will or shall. Hence the formula is, so here the formula for positive sentence, let us see, is subject plus shall or will plus V1 plus object. So shall or will is common for all the future forms, whether it is simple future, future continuous, future perfect continuous. It is same for everything. So they should be there in future form. Here simple future, so V1. So subject plus shall or will plus not plus V1 is negative. Interrogative, bring the auxiliary before. Shall or will plus subject plus V1 plus object. So let's bring the auxiliary that will make that interrogative form. Now let's see some examples. She will type the letter tomorrow. She will type the letter tomorrow. It talks about the action which will take place In future. Negative. She will not type the letter tomorrow. Negation. Interrogative. Will she type the letter tomorrow? Interrogative. Now, before seeing usage, let us see some more examples for simple future. Look at this. I will bring the book tomorrow. He will come to tour with us. He will or they will play tournament next Sunday. Radha will celebrate her 8th birthday next month. Shall we go to movie tomorrow? She will not come to class for 2 days. Here, if you observe the time indicators, tomorrow, next Sunday, next month, 2 days. So these are the time indicators which are representing the future actions. That means, remember, in simple future, we use time indicators for future. Just like simple past, we use the time indicators for past. In simple future, we use time indicators for future actions or future events. That's about simple future formulae and examples. Now let us see the usage. What and when do we use simple future? There are three usages which I am bringing to you. The first usage is simple future tense is used to represent or denote an action which we cannot control, which are not in our hands to control. Such uncontrollable actions for the future, uncontrollable actions for the future should be denoted in simple future only. For example, it will be Pongal next week. You cannot change that. It will be Pongal next week. You cannot control that. So, next week is a time indicator. It's a simple future. We shall know our exam results in May. May is a month where when our results will be published. So we cannot control that, right? Unless any technical glitch, we cannot control that. So simple future. He will meet our principal tomorrow. It is scheduled for tomorrow, the scheduled action for the future, which we cannot control. He will meet our principal tomorrow. It will be Sunday tomorrow. Can you make it Monday? Can you make it Saturday? No, you cannot control that. So it is uncontrollable action. So it should be simple future only. So the first usage is about actions which we cannot control, should be represented in future when they denote future events, not past or present. We all here took the future events, not past or present events. Past events cannot be controlled because already completed. Present, it's going on or done. But we are talking about future also, which cannot be controlled. Future means we can control, but these actions of future cannot be controlled. Such future actions which we cannot control must be represented in simple future tense only. That's our first usage. Moving on to the second usage, this is the normal usage of future tense, that is to denote the action that will take place in the future. That is simple future usage. But remember, time indicator. Time indicator, either directly or implicit way, we must mention for that. For example, they will come to meet me when? Tomorrow. We shall go to Delhi when? Next week. I'm sure Alekia will get the first rank. Implicit. That means exam completed and we are waiting for the result. We shall go to class. Implicit. Action for the future. So remember, generally simple future is used to denote action that will take place in the future. That is our second usage. Now let's see the third usage. The third usage is all about the actions and the decisions. See, the decision which is taken at the time of speaking. If a decision is taken at the time of speaking, that decision must be represented in simple future, and this time of speaking, that means which tense it is? Action going on at the time of speaking. That means present continuous. So at the time of speaking will be in present continuous, but the decision which is taken at the time of speaking must be in simple future. For example, look at this. It is raining when? Now. It is raining. When? Now. So, what's my decision? I shall take an umbrella. I shall take an umbrella is my decision for the action which is going on at the time of speaking. Look at this one. Oh, car hit the pole. Oh, car hit the pole. So what's my decision? I shall call the ambulance. I shall call the ambulance. That's my decision at the time of speaking. Next, today bus strike. Today bus strike. Okay, I shall go by auto rickshaw. That is my decision. Next, Deepu is waiting at school. Deepu is waiting at school. Okay, that is at the time of speaking, present continuous. So what we shall do? What's my decision? I shall pick her up. That's my decision. See, decisions are denoted in simple future, whereas the actions going on at the time of speaking are in present continuous. I hope it is clear, guys. So these three are the usages of simple future tense. Now let's move on to the next one, future continuous tense. So what is this future continuous tense? When do we use? So did you remember present continuous and past continuous? Continuous means action going on. Past continuous action was going on at some point of time in the past. Present continuous action going on at the time of speaking. Then what is this future continuous? Remember, except for simple future, the three other forms depends upon our imagination. Yes, future continuous, future perfect, and future perfect continuous. These three forms of tenses depends upon our thought process, our imagination, and the formulae is as same as present tense except for the will or shall and the be form auxiliary. See, simple present tense formula for simple, that is continuous tense, is subject plus is, am, are plus V4 plus object, right? If it is past tense, subject plus was or were plus V4 plus object. What about future tense? Subject plus will or shall plus, which are common. Now, is, am, are present. Was, were past. Then what about future? For future, the be form is be. Yes. Subject plus will or shall plus be plus V4 plus object. That is for positive sentence. So, is, am, are present be forms. Was, were past be forms. Be is a future be form. Now, going on to negative, just use not after the auxiliary. Subject plus shall or will plus not plus be plus V4 plus object. So B form is be only. Interrogative. Shall or will plus subject plus be plus V4 plus object plus question mark. It is for interrogative. So I think it is clear. Now let us see some examples. She will be singing a song. She will be singing a song. Our imagination for action which will be going on at some point of time in the future. It's not completed, it's not going on, it will take place in the future, but we are talking about the action which will be going on in the future. Next, negative. She will not be singing a song. Negation. Interrogative. Will she be singing a song? Right? So now let's see the usage. When do we use this future continuous tense? As I told, it plays with our thought process or imagination. Remember that. So we generally use future continuous tense to indicate actions which will take place in the future, and it has no connection with present or past. So we are talking about continuous action. This continuous action for future. So it doesn't denote any past or present connectivity. So the action which will be going on at some point of time in the future. For example, my child will be sleeping. My child will be sleeping. Action will be going on when I reach home. So at some point of time when I reach home. Next, At this time tomorrow, I shall be writing my exam in Bangalore. So action will be going on at some point of time. At this time tomorrow. We shall be traveling at this time tomorrow. Action will be going on at some point of time tomorrow. He will be facing an interview at 10 o'clock tomorrow or next week. So he shall be facing an interview at 10 o'clock tomorrow or next week. So do remember, so future continuous talks about the action which will be going on at some point of time in the future, and it has no connection with present or past. It talks about the continuous action. Remember that. It has no connection with present or past. Again, it depends upon our thought process, imagination. Action will be going on in the future. Now, let's move on to the next one. Future perfect tense. Remember that, right? Perfect means completed. So that one should be remembered. You should never forget the fun which we have given. So we discussed yesterday that the word perfect means completed. Completed means what we have to use? Have forms. Completed means we have to use have forms. Have forms means they should be followed by V3. So this one must be remembered. So the word perfect, whenever you remember, whenever you heard, just remember perfect means completed, action completed. Action completed means what we have to use? Have forms. Have forms means what we have to use? V3. That must be remembered. Now, future perfect tense. What is the formula? The formula for future perfect tense is subject plus will or shall common. Completed means have forms. So the have forms for future is only have. For present tense, has or have. For past tense, had. For future tense, it is have only. So the formula is the formula for present, the positive form is subject plus will or shall plus have plus V3 plus object. Negative, just put not after auxiliary will or shall. So subject plus will or shall plus not plus have plus V3 plus object. That is common. Interrogative, bring will or shall before. So shall or will plus subject plus have plus V3 plus object plus question mark. Look at these examples. The engineers will have constructed the dam by 2022. So action will have completed in future at some point of time in the future. See, perfect means completed. Is the action completed? No. Just completed? No. It will have completed. Future completed action. That means again we are putting our thought process, our imagination. So we are thinking that this time or by this time, by 2020, the engineers will have constructed the dam. The construction will have been completed. Now, negative. The engineers will not have constructed the dam by 2022. Interrogative. Will the engineers have constructed the dam by 2022? Interrogative. So, remember, perfect talks about completed action. Past perfect completed in the past. Present perfect completed at present, just now. Future perfect completed at some point of time in the future. It depends upon our imagination or thought process. Now look at the usage. So as I told you, it talks about the actions which will be completed at some point of time in the future. So action started, continued and completed in the future. We are talking about this completed action of future. So to denote some action that will have completed by a certain point of time in the future. So look at these examples. I shall have completed my project work by March. We are talking about the completed action. I shall have completed my project work. By the end of my college, I will have placed in a good job. At some point of time, I will have placed in a good job by the end of my college. So, which will be completed by certain point of time in the future. They will have reached London by tomorrow evening. So, tomorrow evening something will be completed. So, that completed action of future will be represented in future perfect tense. Sonu Nigam will have sung lakhs of songs by his retirement. So, action will be completed at some point of time in his future, in his retirement time, by his retirement. That means in the future. So, remember, so these sentences talk about the completed action, but not in the past or present, in the future. That means our imagination plays a role here. Now, look at the next one, that is future perfect continuous. Just like present perfect continuous and future perfect continuous, just like present perfect continuous and past perfect continuous, future perfect continuous talks about the actions which will be going on for a long period of time in the future. Again, look at this formulae. So, subject plus shall or will plus have plus been plus before plus object. If it is present perfect continuous, you will not have shall or will. So, subject plus has or have plus been plus before plus object. But here, future tense only have, no has. But will or shall will be common. So, subject plus shall or will plus not plus have plus been plus before plus object. Negative. Put not after auxiliary. Interrogative. Should or will plus subject plus have plus been plus before plus object plus question mark is interrogative. Now look at these examples. They will have been playing cricket by this time next week. Action will be going on for a long period of time. Action will have been taking place for a long period of time at certain time in the future. Negative. They will not have been playing cricket by this time next week. Interrogative. Will they have been playing cricket by this time next week? Interrogative question. So remember the structure. Just like present perfect, but will or shall must be placed before the auxiliaries of have forms. Now, let's move on to the usage. So, what is the usage? As I talked about that already, it denotes the action which will be taking place for long period of time. Action started and going on for long period of time in the future. It ends somewhere in the future, we are not sure, but we are talking about this continuous action. So we are interested in this continuous action for a long period of time, that too at certain point of time. At certain point of time, the action will be taking place. So this continuous action for long period of time will be represented in future perfect continuous, which again depends upon our imagination. For example, so generally they will end sometime in the future, as I told you. By next March, we shall have been completing our internship. So here internship will be going on, but we are telling by next March we shall have been completing, not completed, still going on at some point of time by next March. I shall have been training for 20 years by next July. So I shall have been training. Completed? No, still going on. But I shall have been training for 20 years for next July. Action going on at some point of time in the future, which is for a very long period. So action started somewhere in the past, continuing the present, and it's still moving on according to this sentence because 20 years it means. So 20 years means action started somewhere in the past, 20 years before, and going on and still going on. And we are talking about the going on action for the future when we are not sure when it end. And action we are talking about not past or present, in the future for a long period of time. So that is about future perfect continuous tense. I hope it is clear, guys. So all you have to remember is time indicators. Yes. So time indicators plays a vital role. Hence, mind time indicators. For simple future tense, the time indicators are tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. So 2020, 2025, 2022, whatever it is, it talks about the future. Whereas the time indicators for future continuous begins with at. At this time tomorrow, at 4 p.m. tomorrow, at this time next week, at this time next year. So it talks about actions going on, but remember the time indicator should begin with at. And for future perfect tense, the time indicators begin with by next week, by next year, by next Sunday, by this time tomorrow. So the time indicators start with by. And for future perfect continuous also, the time indicators start with by next year, by this time tomorrow, by this time next year. It talks about the continuous action. So those are the time indicators you must remember. For simple future, no preposition. For future continuous, at. At is what the beginning of your time indicator. At this time tomorrow, at 4 p.m. tomorrow, at this time next week, etc. Whereas for future perfect and future perfect continuous, the preposition for the time indicator is by. Perfect talks about completed, perfect continuous talks about going on for long period of time. So those are the time indicators for future. So that's about future tense. It's a small one. Only the present tense is the biggest. Past tense and future tense are smaller ones. Now, before having test, if you have any questions in future, let me know because you're going to face questions now. You're going to have tests now. So if you have any questions either in present or past or future, let me know it. Quick. All right, there are no questions from you, then let's move on to test your knowledge. Yes. So it's your time, guys. Get ready, set. Let's move on to the question here. So quick to answer with explanation. Plane dash at 3:30. You have given only two options. The train dash at 3:30. Arrives, will arrive. Quick. Quick. What is the right answer? The plane dash at 3:30. Quick, guys. What's your answer? Right. Swapna has answered. What about the other guys? All right. So, Sunny, you can also answer. So, remember, even though the task is for future tense, do not forget the basics which we have learned yesterday. So, the plane dash at 3:30, 3:30 plane we are talking. That means it is scheduled. Scheduled or planned actions must be represented in simple present, not simple future. So the plane arrives at 3:30, not will arrive. I hope it is clear. It's not will arrive, it's arrives. The plane arrives at 3:30, not will arrive. Now look at this next one. I dash into the city later on. Do you want a lift? I dash into the city later on. Do you want a lift? Drive, will be driving. Quick. I dash into the city later on. Quick, guys. Yes, Swapna, you're right. So I will be driving into the city later on. Do you want a lift? Why it should be will be driving? Because here you see the time indication. Later on talks about the future. So I shall be or I will be driving into the city later on. Do you want a lift? Now, look at the next one. By 2020, robots dash many of the jobs that people do today. Yes, Sunny, you're right. We'll be driving. By 2020, robots dash many of the jobs that people do today. Quick. Will be taking over, will have taken over. What do you think it should be? Future perfect or future perfect continuous? So will be taking over, it's future continuous. Will have taken over is future perfect. So what do you think? We have to fill it here. By 2020, robots dash many of the jobs that people do today. You are given only two options, guys, so quick. Is it future continuous or future perfect? Which one? Will have taken over, will be taking over. So the right answer is given by Sunny. You are right, not the correct. It is not will be taking over. It is not future continuous because I told you already time indicator. So by started with by means which one? Future perfect or future perfect continuous? If it is future continuous, the time indicator should start with at this time 2020, at this time tomorrow, at 4 p.m. tomorrow. That is okay for future continuous. But here it started with by 2020 is a time indicator for future perfect or future perfect continuous. So we have to go with future perfect tense. I hope it is clear. So by 2020, robots will have taken over many of the jobs that people do today. Now, I'm sure India dashed the match. I'm sure India dashed the match. Quick. Is it simple present or simple future? Okay. So, Sunny, what about you? No, both are wrong. I'm sure India dashed the match. If you are telling wins the match, is it every time? Do you mean every time? No, right? Every time it is not possible. So I'm sure India will win the match. You're talking about the action which will take place and you are sure about that future action. So remember that India wins the match means it is like every time general action, but it's not a general action. It is the action which you thought for the future. So it should be will win the match. Now look at the next one. Look at the black clouds, it dash. Look at the black clouds, it dash. Quick. Will rain is going to rain. You want simple future or present continuous? Look at the black clouds. It dash. Quick, guys. All right. See, look at the black clouds. Action going on at the time of speaking. It will rain. Future. Because decision, no. But we are talking about the future action. It is going to rain, also near future action. But look at the black clouds. We are talking about something which should be done now because something is going to happen in the future. So it's better to take simple future than present continuous. So let's move on to the next one, guys. Unless we dash, we cannot be on time. Unless we dash, we cannot be on time. So what is the answer? Unless we start, unless we will start. Quick. Unless we dash, we cannot be on time. What is the correct option? Choose it fast. Well, good guys. Unless we start, we cannot be on time. This indicate future. So the other class answer should not be in future. It should be in simple present. Unless we start, we cannot be on time. It's a condition. Next, I will phone you when he dash back. I will phone you when he dash back. Quick. Comes or will come. I will phone you when he dash back. Quick. Right, Swapna. I will phone you when he comes back because two future actions, yesterday we discussed. I will phone you when in the future. When he comes back. When he comes back in the future. But two future actions cannot be represented in future. Main clause should be in future, whereas the subordinate clause must be in simple present, right? Hence, when he comes back is a correct one. Right, both of you guys are correct. I dash for 10 years next month. I dash for 10 years next month. So answer this. I have been working. I will have been working. Quick. I dash for 10 years next month. Quick, guys. Mm, so, Sunny, you're wrong. Swapna, you're right. See, next month is a time indicator for what? Future tense. That means we require future only, no? So, present perfect continuous is used without being mentioning the future. Like, you have been learning English since your childhood. It should denote the past. But here next month denoting future. That means we require future perfect continuous. Will have been working. Next. I dash 20 next Friday. I dash 20 next Friday. Shall be or shall get? Quick. Yes, correct. So the right answer is I shall be 20 next Friday. Here shall be 20 next Friday, not shall get 20. You will not get 20. You will be 20 years old. So I shall be 20 next Friday. So next one. Last one here. She jumped off the bus while it dash. She jumped off the bus while it dash. Quick, answer this. Yes, son, you're also right. Quick, answer this one. She jumped off the bus while it dash. Quick. All right. See, she jumped off the bus. It is in which tense? Simple, past tense, followed by what? While is there. While takes which form? Continuous form. So where is continuous form? Moved. No. Had moves. No. Was moving is a continuous form. So right guys, you're correct. So remember we have discussed the three forms, three tenses with the four forms and three forms again, positive, negative and interrogative. That means total you are familiar with 36 forms. You're familiar to 36 forms of the tenses. So all these 36 forms you have to practice so that you can remember them well and do not commit any mistake. And now as we done with future tense, let's have this tabular form for future. Here I have given you simple future in positive. Quickly type negative and interrogative for simple future. She will write a letter. What is negative and what is interrogative? Quick. She will write a letter. Negative and interrogative. Quick. Quick guys, what is negative? Simple future negative and simple future interrogative. She will write a letter and negative is where will we place not? Where to write that not? Subject she. Yes, you're right, Swapna. So subject place, will place, not plus V1 plus object. So it should be she will not write a letter. Right. And interrogative is good. You're right. Will she write a letter? So bring that auxiliary first. So will she write a letter? Good. So simple, future, positive, negative, interrogative. Now, future continuous. Write positive for future continuous. Enough. Don't write negative and interrogative. Just go with future continuous positive sentence. What is future continuous? Quick. Future continuous positive sentence. She will be writing a letter. Good. So Sunny, you also do try that. So now what about perfect? Future perfect? She will write a letter. She will be writing a letter. What about perfect tense? Future perfect tense. Yes, Sunny, you're right. She will be writing a letter. Now go with future perfect tense. Quick. Future perfect and future perfect. Both. Future perfect and future perfect continuous. Both. Quick. Good. She will have written a letter. So perfect means completed. Completed means have forms. Have forms means V3. Right? She will have written a letter. Good. What about future perfect continuous? Future perfect continuous. She will have been writing a letter. Good, guys. So let's see that. She will write a letter. Positive. She will not write a letter. Negative. Will she write a letter? Interrogative. Continuous. She will be writing a letter. Negative. She will not be writing a letter. Interrogative. Will she be writing a letter? Perfect. She will have written a letter. She will not have written a letter. Will she have written a letter? Perfect continuous. She will have been writing a letter. She will not have been writing a letter. Will she have been writing a letter? So that's about future tense. So we have done with present, past, and future tenses. But guys, so far what we discussed are only for the verbs of action. So far we have seen only the verbs of action. Play, sing, write, type, whatever. We discuss verbs of action. But we know verb doesn't mean only action. Verb carries the idea of state of being, condition, state of having, possession, and state of doing, action. We did only action verbs. What about conditional verbs and possession verbs? What about be forms? The state of being. Condition means be forms. So what verbs come under be forms? So the verbs under be forms are is, am, are, was, were. Right? So possession, have forms. Have forms are have, has for present, had for past. So what about the verbs of condition and possession? So for example, let us take some examples for verbs of condition. So verbs of condition like I am a doctor. She is good. They are fine. Are they carrying any idea? No, they are not carrying an idea. Here they are talking about the condition. I am, she is, they are, is, am, is, are, present tense. So what about the tenses for this? See, I am a doctor. It is in which tense? It's in simple present tense. Now, can you write it in present continuous? Try it, guys. Write this sentence in present continuous. I am a doctor. What is the present continuous for I am a doctor? Quick, make a note. Write fast. I am a doctor. What is present continuous? Quick, anyone? Yes, Sanya or Swapna? So can you say I am aiming a doctor? I am being a doctor? No, you cannot use that, right? So there is no sense of writing this sentence in present continuous. What about present perfect? Can you say I have, what is the V3 form for am? I have been a doctor? No, you cannot. And perfect continuous? No, it cannot write. That means for verbs of being, condition, you cannot write the sentence in all the forms and all the tenses. That means then which tense or what tenses can we use to write? Means you can write only in three forms. 1. Simple past. 2. Simple present. 3. Simple future. For example, he was a doctor. He is a doctor. He will be a doctor. You cannot write in continuous or present continuous or past continuous or future continuous. Past perfect continuous, future perfect continuous, past perfect continuous, present perfect continuous, future perfect continuous. There are no sentences. Remember, for verbs of being, condition, only three forms are possible. They are simple forms: simple present, simple past, and simple future. However, negative and interrogative are possible though. So I like, he's a doctor, he's not a doctor, is he a doctor? He was a doctor, he was not a doctor, was he a doctor? So he will be a doctor. He will not be a doctor. Will he be a doctor? Negative and interrogative are possible, but other forms are not possible. Keep that in mind. Now, have been a doctor. No, Swapna, you cannot make it because been should indicate the condition. So I have been to somewhere. That means gone. That is different. But here been means condition. You cannot go with the condition in perfect tense. Only three forms are possible here. Now, what about have forms? Have, has, had are have forms, right? So verbs indicating possession. I have a car. She has a bungalow. Anil Ambani has an aircraft. Now, what about these sentences? I have a car. Can you go with the continuous? What is the continuous for I have a car? Quick. Or the continuous for I have a car? Make a note, guys, quick. Send your answer. I have a car. What's the continuous tense for I have a car? If your answer is I am having a car, then you're wrong. If your answer is I am having a car, then absolutely you are wrong, because verbs of possession cannot be used in continuous tense. Yesterday we have discussed 5 types of verbs which cannot be used in continuous tense. 1. Verbs of perception, sense. 2. Verbs of appearance. 3. Verbs of emotion. 4. Verbs of thought process. 5. Verbs of possession. So these 5 types of verbs cannot be used in continuous tense. Have is verb of possession. So you cannot write it in ing form. Having cannot be with the same meaning. However, with the different meaning. For eating you can say, but here not you're going to eat a car. So I am having a car is absolutely incorrect, because you cannot write it in continuous. That means you cannot write the sentence in both continuous and perfect continuous tenses, because there is no having. What about perfect tense? Try for perfect tense. I have a car. You cannot go with I'm having a car. How about perfect tense? Quick, try. Present perfect. Present perfect. The formula, subject plus, has or have plus, perfect means completed, completed means have forms means V3. So subject plus has or have plus V3 plus object. So what is the perfect tense? Quick. Same. How can it be same? We require subject plus has or have plus V3 plus object. Now subject, what is the subject? I, right? So subject is I. I have forms. I takes have. I have. What is V3? What is the V3 of have? What is V3 of have, guys? I have had object, a car. See here. Have had is possible because first have is auxiliary, second have is the main verb. So I have had a car is the perfect tense. That means for verbs of possession, two forms of tenses are possible. One, simple form. Two, perfect form. Continuous and perfect continuous are not possible because we cannot write ing forms for verbs of possession. So here we go. Anil Ambani has an aircraft. Anil Ambani, you cannot write in continuous. Anil Ambani has had an aircraft. There is no perfect continuous. Next, Anil Ambani had an aircraft. V2. There is no continuous. Anil Ambani had an aircraft. Past perfect. Anil Ambani will have an aircraft. Simple future. There is no continuous. Anil Ambani will have had. Have plus V3. An aircraft. So observe the uses. Has had, will have had. So they are possible when the main verb is a verb of possession. So for verbs of condition and verbs of possession, all forms are not possible, as you have seen here clearly. So only for verbs of condition, only simple forms are possible. Simple present, simple past, simple future. For verbs of possession, two different forms are possible. Simple present, present perfect. Simple past, past perfect. Simple future, future perfect. Right? Six forms are possible. So that's about verbs of being and having. So now we are completely done with the tenses. So we have done with present, past, future for three forms of verbs: action, condition, and possession in all the forms. Now let's begin application. It's your time, guys. So set, get ready. Here we go. The first sentence, choose the option and explain with the correct answer. Here is your first question. When he did not find his cook in the kitchen, he asked his wife, where had he gone? Quick answer. Yes, so we got answers. Swapna said it is option C, and Sunny told it is option D. Option D is no error, and option C is where had he gone. So, what is the correct answer? So, no error means you cannot answer, but Swapna, why do you feel that option C has error? So, justify your answer with explanation. Why it is option C? What is the reason? Quick. When he did not find his cook in the kitchen, he asked his wife where had he gone. So why? What's your explanation? Why it is option C? So guys, is it a question? Is the sentence a question? No, right? It is assertive sentence. But in assertive sentence, the formula, the structure of the sentence is subject plus auxiliary verb plus main verb plus object. If two verbs are there, this is the formula, right? So subject plus auxiliary verb plus main verb plus object when two verbs are there in the sentence. What is the interrogative formula for this? The interrogative formula is auxiliary verb plus subject plus main verb plus object plus question mark. Now, in the given sentence in option C, you see here, where is a question mark? Leave that. Had. So, what is had? Had is the auxiliary. He, subject. Gone, main verb. So, it is in which form? Auxiliary verb plus subject plus main verb. That means it is in a question form. But is it a question? Is the sentence a question? No, it's not a question. That means it is incorrect structure. We require in this structure, in assertive structure. So the right answer is where he had gone. Now it is in assertive formula. Subject plus auxiliary verb plus main verb. It is assertive. If you want to write as a question, write auxiliary verb first, then subject. But if it is assertive sentence, you have to begin with subject, next auxiliary verb. I hope it is clear. So the answer is option C. Now look at the next one. I do not know where could he have gone so early in the morning. Quick. I do not know where could he have gone so early in the morning. Well, Sunny has answered it as option A. Okay, so what is the error, Sunny? Why you have chosen option A? You might be correct, in fact, you're correct. So why option A? Good, Angela, you're back, good. So just now I told you, is it an assertive sentence or interrogative sentence? No doubt it is assertive sentence. There is no question here. But for assertive sentence, the formula should be subject plus auxiliary verb plus main verb plus object. But here what is there? Auxiliary verb is there starting, but that should not be the correct one. We have to write it subject first. He, auxiliary verb, could have gone. Where he could have gone is a correct one. So Angela and Sunny both are correct. Yes, he could have gone. Where he could have gone. Yes, option A. So both are correct. And that's Swapna, you are also correct. It is option A, but try to give explanation like Angela did. So good job, guys. Keep going. Now look at the next one. By the time we will get our tickets and enter the cinema theater, the show will have already begun. Quick. By the time we will get our tickets and enter the cinema theater, the show will have already begun. Quick, guys. So already we have discussed, you have to apply. So I discussed this today itself. So just think, what is the error? Alright, Sunny has given option C as answer. No, Sunny, just reconsider your answer. It's not C. C is in which tense? The show will have already begun. It indicates future perfect tense. So it is correct. Action will have started in the future at some point of time. Now, no, Swapna, you're also wrong. It is not C. You're not observing well then. So look at this. By this time or by the time we will get our tickets and enter the cinema theater. We will get our tickets. We will get our tickets. Can you write two actions in future? Both actions can you put in future? No, right? You cannot put both actions in future. Though both actions takes place in future, only the main clause should be in future, whereas the subordinate clause should not be in future. The subordinate clause must be in present tense. That is what the era here. So it should not be we will get. So just cancel that, take out, remove that will. We get our tickets, and you see the next one. We get our tickets and enter the theater. Here it is very clearly indicated get our tickets, get enter. So it should be in simple present, not simple future, because both actions should not be in simple future. So I hope it is clear. So when two clauses are there, do remember the first clause, that is main clause, should be in future tense, whereas subordinate clause must not be in future tense. It should be in simple future, simple present tense. Now look at the next sentence. We have been celebrating many festivals since centuries. Quick. We have been celebrating many festivals since centuries. What do you think is era? Quick. So Swapna, yes, you are wrong first as well as again. So it is not option D, no era. So there is an error in the sentence. So where is the error? So you want will have been? No, it's in past. It is started in the past centuries, still continuing and end somewhere in the future. That means it should be in present perfect continuous only. So it cannot be. See, the thing here is centuries. Which centuries? Any particular time is there? No, no. There is no particular time mentioned. It is just centuries. So you cannot go with since, because since is used for point of time. Since is used for point of time. But we are not talking about point of time. Which century? We are not sure. So replace since with for. So that is a correct one. We have been celebrating many festivals for centuries, not since centuries. Now look at the next one. I have passed the examination 2 years ago. Quick, answer this. quick, guys. I have passed the examination 2 years ago. Here you have a time indicator. So check out. Yes, Sunny, you are correct. So Swapna, you're not. It is not no error. There is error. Sunny, you're right. But what is the correct part? So what do you think is the correction? I told you there is a time indicator. So what do you think is a correction? What is the correct part? Your option is correct, Sunny, but what is the correct part? See, we have a time indicator 2 years ago, right? Right. So we have a time indicator 2 years ago. 2 years ago is a time indicator. So 2 years ago means which time indicator? Past or present or future? It is past time indicator, not present time indicator, right? Not the future. So we require to use it in past tense. Time indicator is already there. That means you cannot use in perfect tense. If there is no time mentioned, you can say in perfect tense like she has gone to college. When there is no time indicator, that can be happen in present perfect. But when you mention a time specifically, she went to college 2 hours ago. Or you can also say she went to college yesterday, whatever it is denoting the past. So here you can say it in past. You have to say it in past because there is time indicator. Here there is no time indicator. You can say it in present perfect. So remember guys, time indicators, they play vital role in your tense. 2 years ago is a past one. So remember to use past tense only. Now look at the next sentence. Perhaps you know that I have passed the examination in 1999. Quick. Perhaps you know that I have passed the examination in 1999. Sunny, your answer for what? Which option have you chosen? Okay, you mean I had passed the examination. If you are wanted to go with this, no, I must say no. I just explained you the same concept. I have given one more example for the same concept. So I told you 1999. In 1999, 1999 is a time indicator of past. So whenever time indicator is there, you must write it in simple past. Again, remove this have. Perhaps you know that I passed the examination in 1999. So guys, look at the next one. When they stole the money and where did they hide it? It's interesting, right? So it's a question. So yes, Swapna, you're right. Drop have. Now look at the next one. When they stole the money and where did they hide it? Quick, try to answer this. Already I talked about the structure for positive, negative, and interrogative. Just concentrate on that. Quick, guys. What is the structure of a question? Question should have a structure of auxiliary verb plus subject plus main verb plus object plus question mark. Because here we have a question, we should consider it as a question. Now, if there is no auxiliary verb, then the structure will be only one thing will be there, that is main verb. So the structure will be verb plus subject plus object plus question. If there is only one verb in the sentence, if there are two verbs, both auxiliary verb and main verb, then that would be the structure. Now look at the first one. When is a question word, remove that. When they stole the money, they stole the money. If you look at this sentence, they stole the money, do you find it is in a question form? They, subject, stole, verb, the money, object. No, it's not in a question. And look at the second clause. Where, this indicates a question word. Did they hide it? Did is auxiliary verb, they is subject, hide is main verb, it is object, right? That means that second class structure is all right, it is correct with this, but the first class structure is not correct, it is incorrect. We require a question form. That means convert this sentence into interrogative. They stole the money. What is interrogative form? Quick guys, what's interrogative form for this? They stole the money. What is interrogative form? Quick, write this sentence in interrogative. It is in assertive. I'm not asking negative, just write it in interrogative. How will you write in interrogative? Use the formula. So here we have formulas. Two formulae we have. Which formula you have to use? Interrogative sentence. So we require it is in past tense. Past tense means we have to use auxiliary verb did. So did they V1. What is V1 for stole? Steal. Did they steal the money? Right? So it's not do, it should be did. Did they, because it is in past tense, V2. So it is in V2, which makes it past, simple past. So did. So the right sentence should be written like this. So option A has error, guys. So the answer should be, when did they steal the money and where did they hide it? When did they steal the money and where did they hide it? So that would be the correct one. Yes, it can be, because there are two questions. Two are in the past tense. Absolutely, two can be in the past tense. And if you want to make it, you can take the second action in simple past, first action in past perfect. But our error is to correct it grammatically. So you can write it both in past. So when did they steal the money and where did they hide it? Otherwise, you can make it, when had they stolen the money and where did they hide it? That is also okay. Past perfect. First action, second action, simple past. But not required to go with that way. You can write it both actions in simple past also. So where did they steal the money? And where did they hide it? That's the correct one. I hope it is clear, guys. Let's move on to the next one. The river is in spate and it has overflown its banks. Quick, answer this. The river is in spate and it has overflown its banks. Quick, guys, what do you find here? What is the error? The river is in spate and it has overflown its banks. Now, let me ask you, which part, Swapna, is it? Had for which part? You want it had overflown. But the sentence you see is present. It should be present only. Present connects with present only, not past. Present, present continuous. Present, simple present with present perfect is possible, not with past perfect. Now, everyone, quickly write V2 and V3 for overflow. I have given you here V1. I want you to write V2 and V3 for overflow. Quick. What is V2 and V3 for overflow? Quick, guys. Many questions to discuss, many models. Fast. What is V2 and V3 for overflow? And also V2 and V3 for fly. Quick. So many people make mistake here only. So for overflow, adjusting, simply take flow. The V2 is overflowed and V3 overflowed. Flow, flowed, flowed. For fly, fly, flew, flown. Right? So can water fly? No, it's not possible. So it cannot say overflown. It is incorrect. It should be overflowed. Has plus V3. So this is the mistake generally people do commit. Do not have the same mistake. So do not commit the same mistake because of this confusion. Fly, flew, flown. Flow, flowed, flowed. Overflow, overflowed, overflowed. Remember, water cannot fly. So it should be overflowed. I hope it is clear. Let's move on to the next one. So look at the next sentence. Quick with your answers, guys. In the early years of Renaissance of Bharatanatyam, hereditary dancers have their own set of accompanists who lived with the dancers and traveled with them from place to place when they gave performances. It's lengthy sentence though the era is very simple. Quick, try to answer. So what happened, Sunny and Angela? So you also try to answer quick. In the early years of Renaissance of Bharatanatyam, part by part check that. In the early years. So what it is talking about? Which action? Present action, past action, or future action? Of the Renaissance of Bharatanatyam. Okay. Hereditary dancers have their own set of accompanists. Find out if there is any era till there. Next, who lived with the dancers and traveled with them from place to place. Any era in that part. When they gave performances. Any era in this part? Or if there is no era, the answer should be no era. Yes, Sunny, you're right. But what is the correct one? So your option is correct, absolutely. So what is the correction? So correct that, quick. What do you think is correction? Option A had Good. There we go, Angela. So that is the answer. See, in the early years of Renaissance, talks about past action of Bharatanatyam, hereditary dancers have is present, but we are talking in the past, their own set of accompanies who lived past with the dancers and traveled past with them from place to place when they gave performances. Everything in past, but this is in present, but it should not be in present. That is also in past only. So the past of have is had. So there we go. Good job, guys. So well done. So it should be had. Dancers had their own set of accompanies. Swapna, you two try to answer. So that is the error. See, lengthy sentence, but the error is very small, right? So try to catch like that. Now look at the next sentence, quick. He is given me a lot of documents to read before the presentation tomorrow. He is given me a lot of documents to read before the presentation tomorrow. Quick, try to find out the error. Quick guys, what is the error here? Option A has right, Swapna, right, Angela, you're right, guys. So yes, Sunny, but give answers also, guys, not just option, give answers also. So no, yeah. Angela, actually, you are correct with the first one, not the second answer. So it should be he is given is in passive voice. We require active voice, which taken place now, just completed. So replace is with has. It has given me a lot of documents. So has plus V3. V3 is nothing but given. So he has given me a lot of documents to read when now before the presentation tomorrow. Tomorrow's presentation, he has given me documents today, now. So it should be in present perfect. Has plus V3. Has given is a correct one. Now look at the next sentence. As she is late for work yesterday, she decided to skip breakfast and leave for office. Quick. It's very quite easy, right? As she is late for work yesterday, she decided to skip breakfast and leave for office. Speed plus accuracy is what matters for exam. So try to be fast. Yes, Swapna, you're right, but what is the explanation? What is the correction? What's the correct one? Angela, you no need to go with that. Swapna, you're right. So we are talking with the time indicator yesterday. Yesterday is a time indicator for which tense? Simple past tense. For simple past tense, we use yesterday or some point of time particularly, right? So that means we require the past tense here, simple past, but it is given in present tense. So replace that is with was. And as she was late for work yesterday, she decided to skip breakfast and leave for office now. So that's the correct one. Now look at the next one, guys. The college is running a computer course since 2007. Quick. The college is running a computer course since 2007. Quick, guys. So time indicators. All you have to catch is time indicators. And based on time indicators, you have to correct the sentence. So very clearly, we have given a time indicator and hold that to correct that. Good, Angela, you're right. Sunny, yes, might be you're choosing the opposite. So this is option A, this is option B, and this is option C. Now choose correctly. So Angela, you're right. So here very clearly they stated past, present, future. So what did this state here? The college is running a computer course since 2007. Now we are in 2019. We are here. And we are talking about the action which started in 2007, somewhere here. So is that action completed? No, action started in the past year and continued and still continuing. When it ends, somewhere in the future, we do not know. Action started in the past, continuing in the present, and ends somewhere in the future. Started here 2007, still continuing 2019, and ends somewhere in the future. We do not know when it ends. Such action should be written in which tense, guys? Present, perfect, continuous. It should be present, perfect, continuous. What is the formula for present, perfect, continuous? Subject plus has or have plus been plus V4. So, as Angela rightly mentioned, so the answer should be remove this is running, replace that is with the college. So third person singular. So the college has been running a computer course. The college has been running a computer course since 2007. Has been running is the correct one. So I hope you got this. So not future, Swapna, it is present, started in the past, continuing in the present, and end somewhere in the future. So present perfect continuous. So computer, the college has been running a computer course since 2007. Started at particular time, 2007. We are in 2009, but still it is running, right? Now let's look at the next sentence. Look at this one. She and her sister were working here since 1983. Quick, just now I told you, same kind, so work out. She and her sister were working here since 1983. Quick, guys. Yes, there we go. So, Angela, no. So, just think again. Swapna, you're correct though. So, we are talking about the action which started in 1983 and we are currently in 2019. Now, action started when? Action started in 1983 and it was going on and still it is going on because it is mentioned that in a sentence, it is mentioned what? She and her sister were working here since 1983. Since is a time indicator for present perfect and present perfect continuous. So action started when? In 1983. Action started here. We are in 2019, but still action is going on. That means remember again what do we require is present perfect tense. Has or have plus been plus V4. So replace this were with she and her sister plural. So have been working here since 1983. Just remember this time indicator, that will become very easy for you. So Sunny, please be active. So since 1983 started working, still continuing, do not know when it ends, when she retires. Right, let's see the next sentence. Here you go. The families were living in Gulmohar Park for the last 2 decades. Quick. The families were living in Gulmohar Park for the last 2 decades. I'm giving you more examples for you for practice, and you have to remember the time indicators and answer them correctly. Yes, Sunny, you are correct for the previous one. Now look at the next one. The families were living in Gulmohar Park for the last 2 decades. Quick, guys. So just like before, when did they start living? 2 decades before. 2 decades means 20 years before. So we are in 2019. 20 years means it should be, we are here 2019, and we have to go 2 years before. I mean 20 years before, right? Started living 20 years before. And did they stop living? No, it's continuing, right? Action is still going on, and somewhere in the future. So such actions, so Hinjila given me choice, had been or have been. So it should be again have been living, have been living. So it should be the correction, have been living, because they started living 2 decades before and still they are living. It's not mentioned anywhere that they have stopped living, so still they are living. So use present perfect continuous. Yes guys, you're all correct. So good job. Now let's see the next one. I ate nothing since morning. I ate nothing since morning. Quick. I ate nothing since morning. Catch the time indicator. Hold on to that and find out which tense you must use. So what's the time indicator in the sentence and what you must use there? Quick guys. Swapna, you're partially correct. You have to drop one. Why you are using that? We are using active voice, not passive voice, right? So write in active voice only. You're correct, in fact, though, unless you try take that into active voice. You see, we are talking about morning. Let us assume 6 o'clock, or maybe before that, let's make it 5 o'clock, or whatever. You woke up at 4 o'clock, okay, and you got ready and moved to your office at 5 o'clock. 6, 7, 8. Now it is 8 o'clock. Let's assume this. So you woke up at 4 and you went to office at 5. You have been working from then, and now the time is 8 o'clock as per now. Now you're telling that since morning, that means from the time you woke up, I ate nothing. I ate nothing. That means started here, continued, and now you're telling till here. So it should be in perfect tense. So I have eaten nothing. I have eaten nothing. Been should not be used, Swapna. That is the error of yours. So been is used only if it is in continuous, which is not, in fact, in your answer, or in passive voice. So I have eaten nothing since morning. I hope it is clear. Yes, you have to drop been in your answer. So that is the correct one. See, I have given you 4 questions of same kind, but you're not still managing to find out the error. See, time indicator is what you have to concentrate on. Everywhere you find a time indicator. So find the time indicator and check out what is the correct one. Look at the next sentence. The vaccine that hit the market is dogged by controversy. The vaccine that hit the market is dogged by controversy. Quick. So, what is the error? Do not just mention options A, B, C, D, and all. Yes. Good. So, good. Well done, Swapna. So, the vaccine that hit the market, past tense, it should also be in past only, no? Was dogged by controversy. So that is the correct one. Well done. Good job. So what about Angela, Sunny, and other guys? So do respond, participate. Here we go. Next sentence. Last year, 2 Italian prisoners of war escapes from a prison camp in Kenya during the war. Time indicator you got? Find out. Last year, 2 Italian prisoners of war escapes from a prison camp in Kenya during the war. Quick. Quick, guys. Yes, correct, Angela. Yes, Swapna, your option is correct, but try to type the answer too. Yes. See, why it should be in simple past? Last year is a time indicator for simple past tense, right? It's last year. What happened? 2 Italian prisoners of war escapes. Simple present. No, it should not be simple present. It should be in simple past. So write it in simple past. There we go. We got that right. So escaped from a prison camp in Kenya during the war. So that's the correct one. Now look at the next sentence. No one heard anything about him since he left India for good. Quick. No one heard anything about him since he left India for good. Find out the time indicator and check out which tense you require to use. Quick, guys. See, error detection, sentence improvements. You must take less than 1 minute, like 30 seconds to 40 seconds is all you should take to answer. For examinations, that is how you have to maintain 30 seconds to 40 seconds, not more than that. So answer is Sunny gave he left India for good. So option D, Swapna, no error. Okay, what about Angela? Any other option? You got C and D. What about Angela? See, the time indicator is in fact in option C. No one heard anything about him since, here since is indicating since He left India for good. That means, yes, Angela, you're correct. So from that time, since he left India for good, when did he leave India? Don't know, but somewhere in the past. Since he left India for good, no one heard about him anything. So that means till now we are mentioning. He left there and till now. So it should be in present perfect tense. So no one has heard anything. No one has heard anything about him because he left somewhere and we are talking till now. Left there till now. So present perfect tense. Well done. So let's move on to the next sentence. She did not prepare her breakfast at. Again, a quick time indicator. Make it fast. Yes, son, you're right. No, not had left. It should not be. Let me talk about that again. So he left India for good is certain time we are mentioning. So he had left India for good also can be the best possibility, but you cannot correct in two ways, right? So you have to mostly you have to find the error in a particular grammatical situation. So you can also change it, but better this is corrected first because that can be hold because since he is mentioning that point of time, so it is okay, but this cannot be in simple past. Now look at the next one. I hope it is clear, Sunny. If you have any doubts, let me ask. Let me tell you, please ask her. She did not prepare her breakfast at. Quick. Quick, guys. You have very clear time indicator given here. Fast. So what's the time indicator in the sentence? So B is only her. So what is the error, Swapna, in B? She did not prepare her breakfast. So what is the error in B? See, the time indicator given here is at. If you remember, at is used in negative and interrogative sentences only in present perfect tense. That means the sentence must be in present perfect but not simple past. So you have to rewrite it like she has not prepared as plus V3. She has not prepared. So have forms plus V3. So she has not prepared her breakfast at because at is a time indicator. Not had not, it should be has not plus V3. So I hope it is clear, guys. Angela, you must correct that. Present perfect. At is a time indicator of present perfect tense. Now look at the next sentence. When Anand reached his village, he found that the news about him preceded him. Very good one. Check out and try to answer. When Anand reached his village, he found that the news about him preceded him. Quick. Quick, guys. C. Try option C. Okay, good. So what is the correction, Swapna? Why it's option C? Option A had reached. No. No, Angela. No, Sunny. It is option C. Era is option C. So find out what is the correction. See, which is the first action? When Anand reached his village, he found that the news about him preceded him. So, which is the first action? So, reaching is first action, finding is first action, or news preceding him is first action? So, no doubt, news preceding him is the first action, right? After that, only he found and he reached. So, news reached before him. That means first action is news reaching. So that action, when two actions took place in the past, remember the first action should be in past perfect and the second action should be in simple past. Here two actions. One action started, continued and completed. And second action started, continued and completed. So first action is this. Second action is B. So which is first action? News preceding is first action. So the first action should be in past perfect. And second action should be in simple past. That means we require to write this in past perfect. So what is past perfect? Had plus V3. So the news about him had preceded him is the correction. Because that is the first action, not reaching. News reaching before his reaching. That is the first action. So the news about him had preceded him. I hope it is clear. Now look at the next sentence. This custom has come down since times immemorial. This custom has come down since times immemorial. Quick. Quick, guys. So while reading itself, you will be having some iota of doubt or whether you cannot proceed further. There is the error, basically. Sunny answered as B has come down. Why, Sunny? Try it. Whether it is right or wrong, just try it. Because if you try, you can learn better. See, the era is with a time indicator. There is nothing like times immemorial. It is time immemorial, not times. Time immemorial. We are talking about time immemorial. We are not sure when it is. So time immemorial, not times immemorial. So that is the era. So the answer is option C. Now look at the next sentence. Believe me, I'm believing whatever you had said. Believe me, I'm believing whatever you have said. Quick. Quick, guys. Believe me, I'm believing whatever you have said. Mm, no, Swapna. Tense. Check out the tense. Believe me. Simple present. I'm believing. Present continuous. You, whatever you have said. Present perfect. Everything should be in present if you start a sentence in present. Or go with past if everything should be in past. Have believed. Uh, Angela, you're near to the answer but not correct. Believe me. I. So what is the error in option A? See guys, you've forgotten everything. We have discussed 5 types of verbs which cannot be used in continuous tense. Did you remember that? So verbs of perception, verbs of appearance, verbs of emotion, verbs of thought process, and verbs of possession cannot be used in continuous tense, isn't it? So here in our given sentence we have one of this kind used in continuous tense. So you got that? No. So I am is already here, no, so it is not required. So the thing here is you cannot use it in continuous tense because it is a verb of thought process. Believing is a verb of thought process. So you cannot use it in continuous tense. These 5 types of verbs do not have continuous forms. No continuous tense. Do not use. Not used in continuous tense. Hence, do remember you have to replace that ing form with simple form. Believe. Believe me, I believe whatever you have said. I believe whatever you have said. So remember these 5 types of verbs. Do not forget, guys. Verbs of perception, all senses. Verbs of appearance, appear, look, seem. Verbs of emotion, connected with emotion, want, prefer, like, love, etc. Verbs of thought process, verbs of possession, ownership cannot be used in continuous. So that should be the correction. Now look at this sentence. Mother said, son, you have finished your homework? Quick, very easy for you now. Mother said, son, you have finished your homework? Quick, guys. Good. Good, Sunny. So what is the correction? Angela, you're right. See, it is a question, right? So question should be in question form. Auxiliary verb plus subject plus main verb plus object plus question mark. But there what is given? You have. But what we require? Have you. So we require auxiliary verb. Have you main verb finished your homework? So well done, guys. So have you finished your homework? Swapna, it should be B3. Have you finished your homework? Well done, guys. Keep it up. Look at the next one. I wish I have learned swimming when I was young. I wish I have learned swimming when I was young. So quick. In verbs we have discussed, and in tenses it plays a vital role. Check out. Even in subject verb agreement in a previous session we discussed the same thing. So Angela has answered it as had learnt. You're near but not clear, Angela. You're not. See, guys, wish. Whenever you're wishing or whenever you're talking about improbable condition or improbable things or unreal things, you have to use imaginary condition where you have to go with past subjunctive were. right? And if it is not role changing, the wish kind of thing, you should mention in simple past, not in other forms. So remove have. I wish I learned swimming when I was young would be the better one. I wish I learned swimming when I was young is the correct one. So it should be in simple past because it is a wish. Now look at the next one. It is high time that we close the shop and so we can avoid fine by police. Remember this one also in subject verb agreement we discussed. It is high time that we close the shop and so we can avoid fine by police. Quick. Quick guys. It is high time. It is right time. It is quite time. Whenever you use these phrases in the sentence, it is right time, it is high time, it is quite time, the next class must be in simple past tense. So it should be closed. So whenever a sentence started with it is high time, it is right time, it is quite time, remember the next clause should be in simple past tense. So it is high time that we closed the shop and so we can avoid the fine by police is the correct one. Now look at the next one. Had the dead man been alive, he would take revenge on the culprit. Now quick. Had the dead man been alive, he would take revenge on the culprit. Quick guys. Try to answer it. Am I audible now? Can anyone hear me? So am I audible, guys, to you now? Can you guys hear me? Good. Well done. Right then, look at this. I hope it is clear, which I did explain without voice. I'm telling you again. So generally, the correct answer is given by Angela. Good job. So the thing here is, in if clause, I told you there are four conditions which we are going to learn pretty soon. If clause. So there are four conditions. In that fourth condition, this is the fourth condition, that is unfulfilled condition with the structure of if plus past perfect, nothing but had plus V3, followed by would have plus V3, that is future form of future perfect, that is past form of future perfect. So this is the structure. If plus had plus V3 followed by would have plus V3. Now this sentence, this structure can also be written without if. In such cases, had should come before subject. Had plus subject plus V3 followed by would have plus V3. Now the same structure we have had plus subject plus V3. Had plus subject plus V3 should be followed by would have plus V3. So not would plus V1, would have plus V3, would have taken revenge on the culprit. That is the object. So guys, I hope it is clear now. So first remember, this will be discussing pretty soon. However, it is not completed, but well done, Angela. You have done well. It should be would have plus V3. Now let's see the next sentence. Quick guys. We have been telling them to drive carefully, but they are never listening to us. I hope you have remembered this case which we have discussed previously. We have been telling them to drive carefully, but they are never listening to us. Quick. We have been telling them to drive carefully, present perfect continuous, but they are never listening to us. Quick. Guys, I told you in adverbs the difference between never and not. See, never is an adverb of frequency. It has 0% frequency. Never, not at all. On the other hand, not is an adverb of negation. It talks something negative, right? Now, keeping that in your mind, you must answer this question. So, they are never listening to us means not at all. Never means not at all. It is not at all listening. No, it doesn't mean that it is not at all. So, but they are not listening to us. We require negation, not frequency, not the adverb of frequency. We require a negative word, negation. So the answer should be they are not listening to us. I hope it is clear. Now let's look at the next sentence. Look at this one. The road from the river bank to the hut was more difficult than we have feared. It's easy for you. Answer this quick. The road from the river bank to the hut was more difficult than we have feared. So find out the clauses and the tenses, and first one, second one. So what is the correct tense you have to maintain? Quick guys. Respond, guys. Swapna, Angela, Sunny, quick. The road from the riverbank to the hut. Till here we do not have any verb. Was more difficult than. So was, it indicates past. More difficult than we have feared. So you're nearly clear, no, nearly correct, Angela, but not correct. So we have. See, it is in which tense? Present perfect. But what is the tense there? Simple past. Was. Now, which is first action? There are two actions, right? We are comparing here. Difficult, more difficult than. We are comparing there. So, which is first action? We feared. We fearing is first action. We fear something. So we feared is first action, and now we experienced, right? So we are saying that it's more difficult, was more difficult. So we had some expectation, and now we have some experience. The experience is was more difficult. So which is first action? This is first action, our expectation. Second action is our experience. So first action, both are in past, but past of past. Yes, Sunny, you're right. Good, guys. Past of past should be past perfect. That means we have to write that sentence in past perfect. We had feared. Right, guys? I hope you got this. So, Angela, you're correct nearly, but you have missed the actual sign. First action, second action. First action should be in past perfect, second action should be in simple past. Now, let's move on to the next one. Look at this. He would never have taken the job if he had been knowing what great demands it would made on his time. You can answer this well. Try it. He would never have taken the job if he had been knowing what great demands it would make on his time. Just we have discussed. No, Swapna, it's not D. Check again. Quick, guys. He, subject, would never have taken. So, subject plus would have plus V3 plus object. Of course, he would never have taken the job if plus subject. He had plus been knowing. He had been knowing. So there are two ways you can correct this one. We know that subject plus would have plus V3 followed by past perfect. That is had plus V3. So that is one way of correction. Second thing is no verbs of thought process. Can you use it in ing form? Can you use it in ing form? Never. It's in continuous form, perfect continuous. It should be in perfect. So in both ways, the error is the same. One thing, you cannot use verbs of thought process in ing form, no continuous form. Second thing, according to the structure, if plus past perfect, it can come with the first one or the second clause. If plus past perfect, that is if plus subject plus had plus V3 followed by would have plus V3. Would have plus V3 is correct, but had plus V3 should be there. So replace this been knowing with V3, that is known. So he would never have taken the job if he had known what great demands it would make on his time. So that is the correct one. So Sunny, the conjugation for no is no, new, known. So V1 V2 and V3. So V3 form is known. I hope it is clear. Now let's move on to the next one. The document he gave me was long and complicated and I struggled to understand it. The document he gave me was long and complicated and I struggled to understand it. Quick, try to find the error. The document he gave me was long and complicated and I struggled to understand it. Quick, guys. Good. It should be option C. Yes, yes, guys. No, Swapna, it is option C because I struggle. It is in simple present, but actually it is in simple past, right? The document, option A, he gave me was long and complicated, option B. So it should also be in simple past. So what is a simple past? Past form for struggle is struggled is the right answer. I hope it is correct, clear to you. This is a correct one, struggled, because it required both in past form. Now look at the next sentence. They are given a chance by me long ago. They are given a chance by me long ago. Um, you mean was, where you would like to use was? Acha, it's gone. Okay, that's previous. Struggled. Yes, it is struggled. Now look at this sentence. They are given a chance by me long ago. Quick, guys. Find the time indicator. That would become easy for you. What's the time indicator here? Option A. Absolutely, Swapna. Option A. But what is the correction? What's the correction? What is the correct part? What is the error in the sentence? Mm, Swapna, your answer is not correct. Angela, second. uh, yes, absolutely. Angela, you're correct. Long ago. Long ago is a time indicator for which tense? Present, past, or future? Ago. No doubt it is past tense. That means the sentence must be in past tense. But what is the tense here? It is in present. So replace that present form with past form. They were given. It is in passive voice. They were given a chance by me long ago. So were given. So well done. Let's move on to the next one. I had completed my BTech in 2012. Now you do not have any options. You have to check out and find out the error with the correction. I had completed my BTech in 2012. Quick. Yes, Sunny, were correct for the previous. Now look at this one. I had completed my BTech in 2012. Hold the time indicator, find out which tense it should be and what is the correction. Quick, guys. Good, Angela, you're right. Swapna, why was, if you use was, it should be in passive voice. You completed that, not somebody. So here, 2012 is a time indicator for simple past tense. That means the sentence must be in simple past tense, not past perfect. So remove that had. I completed my BTech in 2012 should be the correct one, not been or was. Now look at the next sentence. We went for a movie after everyone reached my house. So there are two actions. Find out the correction. We went for a movie after everyone reached my house. Quick. Quick, guys. We went for a movie after everyone reached my house. So there are two actions, which is first action, which is second action. So what are the two actions in the sentence? I went for a movie is one action, right? I went for a movie. We went for a movie is one clause. Yes, Swapna, you're correct. After everyone reached my house is second clause. Now, which is the first clause? Which is the first action? We went for a movie is first action. Everyone reaching the house is first action. Everyone reaching my house is first action. So, first action, second action, both in past. Hence, first action should be in past perfect. Second action in simple past. So what is the past perfect here? Had. Everyone had reached my home. So that is the correct one. Well done, Swapna. That is correct. Now let's see the next sentence. I had met him on 19th of last month. Quick. I had met him on 19th of last month. Quick, guys. Quick, guys, time indicator. Yes, Swapna, you're right. So drop had because this is a time indicator for simple past. So we don't require to go with yes, Angela, you're right. I met him on 19th of last month. Now look at the next sentence. When I reached the station, the train already left. Quick. When I reached the station, the train already left. Quick, guys. You got two actions here. So which is first action, which is second action? Yes, Angela, you're right. So two actions. When I reached the station, the train already left. So train leaving is first action, your reaching is second action. So first action should be in past perfect. So the train had already left is the correct one. Yes, Sunny, you're right. Had already left. So no, Angela, not had reached. Reaching is the second action. Train leaving is the first action. The train had already left when I reached the station. So guys, that's all about our today's session on tenses. So we will continue with some more examples and a new concept for the next session. So you have no doubts. If you have any questions or doubts, let me know through your comments now. If you do not have any doubts, please comment no doubt so that I can understand there is no doubt before calling off this session. So let's call it a day. But before that, if you have any questions or any doubts, do comment. If you do not have any doubts, do comment this one in the comment box so that I can understand you. Quick. Fine. Thank you, guys. Good. But my sincere urge is please do follow the rules and please do analyze the sentence and try to practice more and more. Watch this video again, the tenses completely, and do concentrate more on this. So fine, there are no doubts, then let's call it a day and have a nice day ahead. See you in the next session.